School textbooks. Sometimes you can judge a book by its cover. Many students have a common fear when coming back to school each year: getting old textbooks. You know the sort. Faded cover, tears in the binding, various discolorations, pages stuck together, and a final paragraph that even asks students to wonder how Bush will lead America after 9/11. Students, however, have a far worse problem than the terrible superficial appearance of their textbooks. The content is so boring. They're repeatedly told that this is how it's supposed to be. It's claimed that they just have to learn to read boring things. Experts on the subject believe this is a huge problem for our schools. One of the biggest reasons for this problem is that the textbooks are completely out of touch with what historians say about history. Historians know that history is interesting. It's full of drama, great leadership from normal men, and dark profanity. High school students find these things interesting. They fall in love with movie and book characters that are realistic, but they're bored to death by our American history variants of Santa Claus. These perfect, sacred heroes that are nothing like what these men, or any men, were like in their own life. History should never be known as a boring subject. It's one of the most interesting things that we learn about in high school. The very men and women that made our country what it is today. There is absolutely no excuse for telling half-truths about our heroes, even if those heroes seem flawed. This makes professors of history that know the great crime being waged against our nation's students passionate about doing something about it. You probably knew that students weren't big fans of history books, but you may not have known the big-time collegiate academics were up on us. You also probably didn't know that teachers aren't really that big of fans of these clunky things either. Teachers dislike textbooks just like students. Yet, many studies have shown that teachers, regardless of their feelings about the textbooks, teach from them heavily. This highlights the need to reform our textbooks based on real historical evidence, rather than our current boring, skewed appeals to nationalism. The history portrayed in American textbooks is nothing but a skewed appeal to nationalism. Does that seem like a tough statement? Maybe you still believe that American history is at least accurate, even if it's boring. Ask your parents. They can name countless scandals that happened in their lifetime. You can probably even name countless scandals that have occurred during your own life. This isn't because we're going through wicked times, because this generation is corrupt, or that things were just better in the past. It's because there are scandals and great deeds in every time period where there are humans. Our history is riddled with them. However, they're viewed as things which must be whitewashed. But what they are is the details that will keep our students reading. It's also obviously not ethical to whitewash some aspects of our country's heroes. It's not paying respect to lie and hide about their beliefs. These lies aren't the sort that's along the lines of photoshopping out pimples or changing skin tones. It's altering the very things that made these heroes, well, heroes. Their religion, their ethics, and their politics were chosen by them for very specific reasons. We live in a free country, yet our heroes aren't free. We're told that they stayed in single file lines and spoke quietly through the halls. But that's not a hero. A hero is groundbreaking, and it's often forgotten that calling someone groundbreaking is saying that someone broke the ground. No one will agree with everywhere heroes have broken from traditions and mainstream beliefs. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't talk about it.